U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is still trying to get support for a military strike against Syria. The top diplomat says inaction sends the wrong message to Iran and North Korea. Kerry has been trying to convince Arab leaders.
Secretary Kerry came to Paris hoping to change public opinion both at home and in France. France is the one European ally willing to fight with the U.S. But even France now wants to wait until UN inspectors report on the chemical attack. And while 28 other European nations meeting with Kerry earlier in Lithuania said today Assad must be punished.
In the face of this cynical use of chemical weapons, the international community cannot remain idle.
The European Union also wants to wait for the UN report.
The President and all of us are listening carefully to all of our friends. No decision has been made by the President. We will obviously take this under advisement, and I'm sure and the President will make his decision at the appropriate period of time. It is clear that if we don't take action, the message to Hezbollah, Iran, Assad will be that nobody cares that you broke this nearly 100-year-old standard, and you're using weapons that have been banned by 189 nations.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad quickly reacted in an interview with CBS, denying he'd used chemical weapons and suggesting any attack on Syria would be met with retaliation from his allies. Meanwhile, French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius emphasized that the growing list of countries would not all be likely to take an active role in potential strikes.
But as if these words aren't enough, graphic videos like this one have been shown to senators in an effort to convince them why they should act. And the Sunday morning news shows in America were yet another opportunity to discuss the big issues. Senior White House officials continued the debate.
It also makes him think twice before he goes to these dastardly weapons again.
But they also provided for a rare opposing view. President Assad gave an interview to well-known television host Charlie Rose, who recounted to CBS Network what he said.
He had a message to the American people that it had not been a good experience for them to get involved in the Middle East and in wars and conflicts in the Middle East, that the results had not been good, and that they should not get involved, and that they should communicate to their Congress and to their leadership in Washington not to authorize a strike.
Maybe because of warnings like this from Iran's foreign minister during a visit to Iraq on Sunday.
We're trying to prevent a war in Syria because once it starts, the warmongers won't be able to end it on their own. We know the US president is trapped because he's talked about going to war even though he doesn't want to. We hope he gets out of this trap and doesn't set fire to this region.
John Kerry said the number of countries willing to join a coalition against Syria was now in the double digits, but a list will not be made public until sometime on Monday. Many countries are wary about entering into a conflict without United Nations backing. Even Washington may now be considering returning to the UN for support. Kerry will now continue his diplomatic tour of Europe by going to London. After the UK Parliament voted no to intervention, the US knows it will have to continue building the case for war without help from some of its traditional allies.